It's that time of year again. When you start arranging pumpkins on the stoop, try out a new cranberry sauce recipe, and plan out a tablescape that'll outdo last year's. In other words, it's when you break out all your DIY holiday skills. And now, ADT is making it easy to DIY your home security too. Their systems aren't just simple to set up, they also fit within your budget. So get excited for your next project, because your peace of mind just went DIY. Visit ADT.com or call 1-800-ADT-ASAP. When every second counts, count on ADT.
Welcome to Hello Uglies, a Dragula recap show for Titan Season 2, Episode 8, titled Supervillains. My name's Joe Batanz, and I am joined, as always, by the goddess of glitz, glamour, goth, gossip, and gore herself. From Bloody Podcast, please say, please say, hello, Uglies, to Miss Lorian K. Roggenkamp. Hello, Lorian.
Hello.
I was talking. I'm still thinking about how last week I said from the perspective of a magician. And what's funny is, in a bizarre twist, I've had to say it a few times this past week for other things. You know, well, as a magician.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It's not like it's just a funny thing.
It is a funny thing to say. It is a funny thing to say.
Perspective. You never think about the perspective of a magician. I'll just tell you that. So,
well, what's funny is, you know, one of the things I think is super rare, believe it or not, is the only people I can think of actually, myself and my friend Adam de la Pena, who see how funny magic is. And there are even people who you would think see magic as funny that don't, you know, like, for instance, Neil Patrick Harris used to be the president of the Magic Castle. I would see him there all the time at the time. And there was one occasion because they used to do the board meetings on Tuesday nights.
Yeah.
And I happened to be there with a friend on a Tuesday nights, and Tuesday nights are typically very slow. So it was like literally no one was there. And he was just sitting at the bar by himself. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to go talk to Neil Patrick Harris. And I will say, because I hear a lot of people bitching about Neil Patrick Harris, he's always been, I mean, this was the one time I had a real conversation with him, but every time I've met him, it's been very nice. And this conversation was very nice. But the one thing I remember was thinking, like, well, this guy's my age-ish. And, you know, he, you know, does comedy on shows. I mean, he's going to see how, and I kind of went there how funny I think magic is. He did not think it was funny.
Really?
He doesn't think magic is funny. And one thing I noticed too is the new Neil Patrick Harris I see at the Magic Castle all the time is hilarious comedian Nathan Fielder. And I know based on the episode, sometimes I've seen like magic posters that even I own, right? In his office or something, or I've seen them. And I know he's a magician, but he's never really talked about it.
Really?
He's talked about it a little bit. You know what? Maybe he does think it's funny. Remember, there was a clip on the recent season of Nathan For You where he showed a video clip of him as like a young teenager doing magic for his friends or something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The rehearsal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've never really seen him make fun of magicians or magic in any kind of way.
Yeah. I actually like... But I think that's just more my thing. I like anything that can be taken from a funny angle.
Yes.
You know? Like, I like what there was a guy, I think his name was like The Amazing Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
I loved him.
Mm-hmm.
I would watch his specials all the time. So, like, he was great.
Our friend Patrick Keane was friends with him because The Amazing Jonathan was really good friends with, what's that name of that comedian? Steve Byrne. And Patrick Keane's really good friend with Steve Byrne. He opens for him all over the time, all over the place. And Steve Byrne made a documentary about The Amazing Jonathan.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I would see The Amazing Jonathan at the Magic Castle all the time too. Very tall.
Yeah.
And for people who don't know, he passed away. But he had some sort of disease, right? Or
I think it was. I think it was a disease, but also I think he had like a lot of issues because he did hard drugs for a really long time.
Yeah.
If I remember the documentary, I could be wrong, but
The Amazing Jonathan did see the funny side of magic. Yes.
But I thought he did. And then also Penn and Teller, I felt like I don't think they do it now, but I felt like in the beginning they did a lot of comedic magic.
Yes. They still do comedic magic, but it's not as much of kind of making fun of magicians, but not as much as they used to. You're right.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I don't know. I feel like I don't like anybody who takes, not like I don't like them, but I kind of go, ugh, if somebody takes themselves too seriously.
Yeah. A lot of magicians take themselves very seriously.
And I think in a way they feel like they have to get respect and notoriety. You know what I mean? But it's like, I don't know. I feel like you can just, be more lighthearted about it.
Yeah.
But
it is very silly.
But yeah, I memean, that's the same with teaching though. Like, teachers rarely have a sense of humor. When I have a very dark sense of humor. And so when I would make dark jokes, they go, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I'd just be like, "No, it's funny." Like, when my brother died, that weekend.
Hilarious topic, by the way.
Yeah.
We got a lot of jokes out
comedy
of it.
minefield. Yeah. When my brother died, that I was supposed to go to this conference for CTA, for the union, and I had to cancel because, my brother just died. And then I was at this, like, I think a month later, I was at some kind of like teachers benefit thing in the teachers lounge. And the president of the union, this guy came up to me and was like, "Hey, there's a conference in June that I think you would really be interested in. It's it's for the union." And I was like, and he goes, "Would that be okay?" And I go, "Well, my brother can't die twice." So so, and then everybody was just like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I was like, "Come on."
It's so funny because I remember when your brother passed, you and I were talking immediately. I remember talking immediately. You were in the car with Star. She went to go pick you up at school or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you were cracking jokes then. And you and I have discussed this before, that we as comedians, from a comedian's perspective, by the way, a lot of comedians take comedy very seriously, which I know is very ironic.
I was just going to say there are a lot of comedians who take themselves way too seriously.
Yeah, which is ironic, yeah. But I remember in the car you were making a lot of funny jokes, and that's just how we deal with grief.
Yeah.
And so the reason I bring that up is there's this story that's been going around TikTok. It's from a podcast or something. Someone talking about this. But when Albert Brooks, I don't know if you've seen this story on TikTok or something like that.
No.
Albert Brooks I feel like a lot of younger generation, I feel he's kind of like semi-retired. He doesn't really do much anymore.
Yeah.
Legendary, very influential comedy writer, filmmaker, performer. I don't think he was ever a stand-up, but comedy writer, performer, actor. You should see his movies. They're very good and very influential to a lot of comedians and a lot of funny people. And his brother was Super Dave Osborne, another person who I think a lot of younger people wouldn't know, but super funny. And he people might know him from Curb Your Enthusiasm, where he played one of Larry's friends. Who did he play? I can't remember his name.
Shoot.
I can't remember the name of the character, but he was one of Larry's friends.
Yeah.
He's the one that tells the dirty joke to Seinfeld on the Seinfeld reunion.
Yeah.
Anyway, he passed away.
Yeah.
And people were talking about how at the funeral, everyone's really sad. And Albert Brooks goes up. They have another brother who's not in comedy at all, I don't think.
Yeah.
And he goes up with a lot of papers, and he's like, gets up to the podium, and everyone's like silent, and everyone's waiting for him to say something. And he's shuffling through the papers. And I'm going to say the other brother's name is like Larry, right? And he's shuffling the papers, and he goes, "Sorry, I thought Larry died." And then just took the papers and sat down. So, and I was like, that's so funny. It's so funny. And to commit to the bit and really not say anything and just sit down.
Yeah.
Is so funny.
There was at my brother's funeral in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
They, we're Catholic, but we're like very lapsed Catholics. We're not, religious in any stretch of the imagination. But I guess because it was when it was, and because we wanted to, have it so quickly, they were like, well, the only person we really have available is this Catholic priest. And he was a very nice man. So he hosted it, and he did a lot of prayer and blah, blah, blah. And then when he introduced me, because I went up with my mom, he introduced me. He said that, here's Billy's mom, Patty, and his aunt, Diane.
He doesn't even have an Aunt Diane.
Yeah. Or I think it was like Aunt Lorraine or so. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was some name, right? But he called me his Aunt Diane or aunt. So I went up and I said, no, I'm his twin sister, Lori.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not his aunt. And so then I was sitting down and I went, and a family friend, Justin, was like, hey, could you say something at the funeral? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I waited for everybody to be done who wanted to talk. And then I went up and I was like, oh, it's Aunt Diane again.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm going to tell. And so it was just one of those things where I was like, it was dumb, but it was like, it brought some like humor to a very sad situation. But that, one of those things too is I feel like you have to do it based off the person. Like if the person was my brother was very funny.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't want, if it was me, he wouldn't want it to be depressing and, like everybody crying and, So I think that, funerals, sometimes you have to have comedy, some kind of comedy in them just to make it like, because unfortunately death is a part of life. So.
What's so funny? What I was thinking about was, I think I'm being really honest. Because it's going to sound like I'm not being honest. Mm-hmm. And I know what you're going to say, whatever, right? Because you're going to have to say this. But I really think if I drop dead today,
mm-hmm.
apart from my immediate family, I don't think anyone will go to the funeral.
What?
Yeah.
People will go.
I think like Star would have to work, or you're like, I can't take another day off school. Chris Mercedes would be like, I'm busy. Like John Paul would be like, I'm in Palm Springs. I don't think anyone would go.
Everybody would go.
No.
Yes.
I don't think people like me.
Oh my God.
I think because of the Chinese joke.
Well, that did burn a lot of bridges.
Yeah, people that were really unhappy about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cut to it's all Chinese people that go. Only Chinese people.
I know. I want that to be the case.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put in an ad for like an acting thing of just like, are you Asian?
Yeah.
Like, can you
show up to this funeral?
Can you show up to this funeral?
Yeah.
And just look angry.
Yeah. All right. This week, the monsters conceptualize and showcase a look embodying a comic book supervillain with a signature power. In the end, Eva Destruction was named the winner of the challenge, while the rest of the top four faced the Ghostly Gallows for their final judgment. After ascending the staircase of souls, Jaharia and Cynthia Doll were dropped into the Pit of Oblivion, leaving JK and Abhora to move on to the finale. Blackberry and Sigourney Beaver face off in the Hellbound Showdown, with Sigourney Beaver coming out victorious and Blackberry returning to hell. Lori, did the right monster win the challenge? And did the right ghouls get the chop?
Yes. I mean, Jaharia and Cynthia were just not great. I felt like Jaharia definitely, her outfit, I mean, if we're just going based off this episode, her outfit was terrible.
Yeah.
And I'm actually I think Eva's gonna win. I want JK to win.
Oh,
so that's who I would.
That's a weird thing here. Yeah,
yeah.
I think Eva's going to win.
Yeah,
but I want Abhora to win.
Yeah, I don't know. Abhora, I just feel like is so low energy this season. I feel like she's just like.
Well, I think she's trying to avoid all the drama from
Yeah, but.
And can I just say, look, I know it's pretty clear that I love a skinny white boy.
Yeah.
But Abhora is looking particularly hot this season.
Her confessional look is the best look out of everybody, I feel like. But yeah, no. I mean, Eva's costume was flawless. It was amazing. Or her look. And she's a good performer. She's not a good person, but she's a good drag performer. That's all I'll say.
Well, just to kind of piggyback on what you're saying. And by the way, I said piggyback because she's a pig and I'm going to be on her back.
Yeah.
People don't know this. Lori and I enter competitive piggyback races. Now, by the way, in fairness, we're both pigs and we take turns. We take turns, but we go to competitive piggyback races all over the country. Yeah. All over the country. And
we haven't won yet, but one day.
Our team name is Oinko Boinko. And we've not won.
No.
We've not won.
Yeah.
Often we just
just stop. We just stop for snacks,
that's exactly it.
Yeah.
We're going to say that right now. Often sometimes we don't even start.
Yeah.
Sometimes Lori and I are eating like Nutter Butters or something right there. And people are like, the park is empty.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, what happened to the race? And it ended 4 hours ago.
Oh, nobody told me.
Yeah. We're like, we were waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very embarrassing. Anyway, just to piggyback off of what you said is let's take a look at this psychologically, right? Between Eva and Abhora, I'm going to say, and even JK, I feel Abhora and JK are just happy to made it to the finale.
Yes.
Like just being at the finale. I'm sure, look, they want to win. Everybody at some level wants to win.
But I think just getting to that level is like, okay, I made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I really think that if Eva didn't win, that would be her 13th reason.
I think, you know what? I would agree if she didn't get to the finale. I think if she hadn't even gotten to the finale, I think she would be like, it's time to pack it in, Yeah. But I think that she made it to the finale. I think but here's the thing. Here's what I really want the Boulet brothers to do. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to say this even for Abhora. Stop putting them on shows. Like, they're done. This is the last season. We're done with them. Like, moveon.org. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want to see Eva anymore. Yeah. Win or loss, we're good.
Well, here's the problem. If Eva went, like, I don't think this would be the case. Like, okay, let me tell you this. Think about all the people that have won Dragula. This can you name the winners of Dragula? Vander Von Odd, Bitch Queen, or Bitch Pudding.
Bitch Pudding, yeah.
Season 3 was...
who was season 3?
Maybe that was Bitch Pudding.
Season
2 was Bitch Pudding. And remember season 2 was Bitch Pudding? And then there was a long time between season 2 and season 3. I think because of the pandemic. And then season 3, I don't remember. And then season 4, I don't know. Dahlia wins at some point, right? And Victoria Elizabeth Black wins, doesn't she?
Okay. Dolly, yeah. So Landon Cider. How could I forget them?
Oh, he won season 3.
They were amazing.
Yeah.
Bitch Pudding won season 2.
Yeah.
Landon Cider won season 3. Dolly won season 4.
Yeah.
Hoso, right?
Won season 5. Yeah.
Season 5, and then
Neohuru X.
Neohuru. Did they won who won Titans 1? I feel.
Did Hoso win?
Oh, Neohuru X won season 5. Sorry. So it's Vander Von Odd season 1. Season 1 Vander Von Odd. Season 2 Bitch Pudding. Season 3 Landon Cider.
Sure.
Season 4 Dolly.
Mm-hmm.
Season 5 Neohuru X. Mm-hmm. Season 6 Asia Consent.
Oh, I totally forgot she even existed.
Yeah.
Okay, who won Titans 1?
And then I'm trying to see.
Was there a fallout between Asia Consent? She wasn't even on this season or mentioned or anything.
No. It's not showing. I feel like Hoso won. Am I wrong? I'm probably wrong.
No, because I just saw a thread that said, "Oh, would Hoso come back?"
Victoria Black.
Elizabeth Black won Titan season 1. All right.
So Hoso and Coco were runners up. That I remember.
Yeah.
Jesus.
The point I'm making here is the fact that we don't even remember them speaks to my point, which is they win this show and then they just go back to doing whatever they were doing, right?
Yeah.
This Eva Destruction, if and when she wins, she's now going to become like everywhere. Well, as the winner of Titan season 2, and she's going to be an expert.
And she's going to be insufferable.
She's going to be insufferable. And it's not to say that her looks aren't good. Her looks are great, right?
It's hers to lose.
It's hers to lose.
I don't like her, but I am fully aware that she is doing an amazing job.
Yeah.
And it's hers to lose. She basically has this in the bag as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Now, do I want her to win? No. But odds are she's going to win because she's been doing a fantastic job this entire season. So it's hers to lose. But yeah, no, she'll be insufferable.
On the previous episode, I didn't know if this came up before, but we learned that she was a musical theater kid. I'm like, you know what? This explains everything. She has that musical theater kid personality.
And her confessional look is so terrible. She's got like weird white makeup on and then like a bloody nose. Yeah. I'm just like, what are you doing? What's that about? So yeah, I don't know. Look, am I going to be happy that she wins? Not really. But it's deserved.
It's deserved.
Deserved. Yeah.
Even though I mean, you're going to argue with me here. If Abhora won, I'd be like, good. I'd be happy. And I'm sure you'd feel the same way if JK won.
Yes.
And also, they have a month in between. I mean, a lot can happen,
Yeah.
A lot can happen.
I feel like the only thing I will say is I feel like with Abhora and JK, they go for things. They try things. And so I think Eva does very beautiful costumes, but they're very like her style, and she doesn't really veer from that.
Yeah.
And so the only way I could see Abhora or JK winning is if they did something grand, and then it was successful. That's the problem.
Yes.
A lot of times they'll do something grand and then it's not successful. Yeah. So.
All right. On that note, why don't we take a break? And when we come back, we're going to talk about our big takeaways from the episode and also the rest of the episode. We'll be back right after this.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations.
In Walmart's Who Newville, joy started to grow. For online-only savings sure to steal the show. Tech treats and toys so dazzling and new. Walmart Cyber Monday deal soon ready for you. It's online only with very little time to spare. December 1st will soon be here, so be sure to be there. The Who's are prepared. Are you ready too? A day packed with savings. Amazing! Who knew? Subject to availability, terms and fees apply.
We find Vecna, we end this once and for all, together.
On December 25th.
We have a plan. It's a bit insane. Everyone in?
He knows where we are.
Watch out!
Get ready for one last adventure.
We stay true to ourselves. Stay true to our friends, no matter the cost.
Found you. Stranger Things, Season 5, Volume 2 begins December 25th. Only on Netflix.
We are back. Lori, any big takeaways from this episode?
My takeaway is a question.
Mm-hmm.
Why was everybody kissing Cynthia Doll's ass during this entire episode? I don't get it. Why they were all like, Cynthia, your drag has been transformative on this episode. I'm like, no,
wait, the other contestants? I don't remember this.
JK.
Mm-hmm.
JK was like, you should be really proud of yourself. Your drag has broken boundaries. And it's like, no, it hasn't. What are they talking about?
Do you think that they saw the writing on the wall and they're like, okay, well, for sure Cynthia's going home. And so they're like,
yeah, I mean,
we're going to say nice things to her because we know she's gone.
Yeah, and if we don't, she'll
because she hadn't even won a challenge.
She not won one challenge.
Yeah. Which,
to be fair, I don't feel like should be a full reason why somebody doesn't move on to the finale.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're safe, you're safe. You know, I don't think that should be counted against you. However, when you're up against other queens who have won challenges, then, you know, it gets a little muddy. But no, I don't know. Even Eva was like, oh, I've just been really enjoying your drag this year. And I'm just like, no, nobody has.
Yeah.
She hasn't won a single thing, you know? So I don't know. That was very frustrating. Yeah, I just, it was crazy to me that everyone kept kissing her butt.
Honestly, I'm not sure that I've had a big takeaway. Maybe my big takeaway was what we just talked about earlier, is that because they're really, you know, the problem you run into on Drag Race, on this show, pretty much a lot of competitive reality shows, is that once you winnow everything down to the, you know, the final few, there's just, you know, all the drama has been played out. Not that those people aren't dramatic, but they've worked through whatever problems storyline wise that they had. And now it's just sort of just crawling and stumbling and inching towards the end.
Yeah. Just trying to get through it and get it over with.
And there isn't much meat to the challenge of this episode. It's a very simple episode. It's like, do this look, the end.
Yeah.
They didn't have to do a dance. They didn't have to sing a song. They didn't have to do anything extra.
No.
All they had to do was come out in this look, which, you know, for all intents and purposes, were already done.
They didn't even really have to show a superpower.
No.
Which I thought was interesting when they get to the judging and they tell Jaharia they didn't know what her superpower was. And I was like, do you know what any of their superpowers are? Like, you know, why is it just Jaharia that has to have a superpower?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
yes,
it was.
It's hard to have a big takeaway because there's nothing really to the episode. It's really just the episode, almost just a formality to narrow it down to the three people to go into the finale. It was just a way to get rid of Jaharia. I don't know. I will say this. Cynthia Doll, we knew for sure the days were numbered, right? But I would say, in fairness of the Boulets, I think Jaharia and JK were probably both up for that second spot.
Yeah.
It was about who did better. And
Jaharia's very, very hit or miss.
Yeah. And Jaharia just shit the bed on this episode in terms of her look.
She either hits it well, like last episode, I felt like she was robbed. She should have won. Mm-hmm. She did an amazing job. This episode, I was like, oh, what are you doing? What's that outfit?
Yeah.
And so, no, I think you're right. I think it would have been, you know, up for grabs. I will say that I was a little disappointed because I did want to see, like, I don't know. I would like to see a person of color, like, win the season. I mean, I know that Neohuru is Asian, but I wish that
let's work backwards here. You have Vander Von Odd, Latino. You're saying a person who's not Latino or white.
Yeah, Latino, white, or Asian.
You're saying black because we've had an Asian winner too.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I
just think it's time.
Because Landon Sider's also Latino.
Yeah. Landon Sider is?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so I felt like if Jaharia and JK made it to the finale, I felt like the odds would have been better.
You know, I think Dolly, and I think I could be wrong. You can look it up. I think Dolly, and I'm going to come back to this. Hold on for a second. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe Dolly has some black in them, right? But
they sure want to.
But it goes my whole thing because people would sometimes say with Trixie Mattel, like, she's Native American, right?
Yeah.
It really is about how you present. You know, if you present as white, you're treated like a white person and your experience is as a white. Like, for instance, my nieces present as white. They're half white, you know? Yeah. So they're treated like white girls.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, it really is about how you present. And even if Dali was all black, if he I don't know what pronouns they use. If they present as white, then they get treated with the same sort of like privilege that white people do. So I would still go with your statement, but yeah.
But yeah, no, that was the only thing I was like, it would have been nice. But I mean, you know, at the end of the day, you have to go like, this is a talent competition. So it shouldn't be about who, you know, what ethnicity or race anybody is. It's just what talent they bring. But I feel like at the same time, you know, I feel like Eva, you could tell, has definitely had a lot of more privilege in her life and been given a lot more opportunities. So, you know, I don't know.
But that's why Eva is the way she is, in that you can tell the privilege by the way she is just so focused in a way that comes from privilege.
Yeah.
You know?
She can be narrow focused.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to worry about anything.
Well, she also this becomes the biggest thing in the world to her, which is a big deal for everybody, but it feels like almost like life and death.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't being totally funny when I said it could be her 13th reason. I mean, it is a funny statement to make by calling it 13th reason, but I think it would look, I'm not going to basically go far as she's going to end her own life, but I think it would be emotionally devastating to her if she didn't win.
It would rock her world. I think it would be like one of those things of like, should I continue doing drag?
Yeah.
Is it worth it? You know? But
which I think she said she even had on the previous ones, right? She's already had it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's jump into this. After the extermination, the monsters reflect on how happy they're feeling after Eva evaporized. What? Eva got rid of Sigourney. Eva says she made her decision immediately after Sigourney's manipulation tactics. The group discusses how Sigourney's tactics have played out all season long. The ghouls realize that this top 5 has never seen a finale, and Cynthia calls out Abhora for not showing growth since Titan season 1. Lori, any thoughts for everything that happens in the lab after the extermination?
I felt like Abhora was being very civil with Cynthia.
Yeah.
Because Cynthia, for some reason, just all of a sudden started going after Abhora. And everybody was like, why are you attacking her drag?
Yeah,
like,
it was really weird.
Yeah, and so I felt like it was, because if it was me, I'd been like, bitch, you suck. Like, you're not even that good.
You haven't even won a challenge.
Yeah. So, you know, you've literally only yelled throughout this entire competition.
What do you mean I've been yelling?
That's a really good Cynthia Doll. So I don't know. I thought that was super. But you know what I think it was? Again, I think it was a producer note. I think somebody told her like, hey, you know, confront somebody on their drag or something. And she went with Abhora.
Yeah.
Which honestly, even if that's, she has been doing different things with her drag. So that's not even factually accurate.
Mm-hmm. No, it's not. It actually, for the past few episodes, she hasn't even worn the nose. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, if anything, I would say you could pick anyone else and that would fit, except for Abhora. Abhora's the one who's been doing more, who's been trying different things.
I have a note here, and I don't know what it means, but I agree with it. Eva is still obnoxious about this. About what? Oh!
I think Sigourney.
Yeah, Sigourney.
She's still super obnoxious. Well, again, I feel like it's a sexist thing to me. It's like, how dare a woman say that she's she's better competition, you know? And so I just feel like it, you know, there's that kind of attitude. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're not stating it, but it's very pervasive to me.
Yeah.
But I will say that, like, yeah, Sigourney did not do the right thing in her, you know, chance to get Eva on her side. Now, do I believe Eva that she didn't know who she was going to pick, and then Sigourney started no, I think Eva knew immediately that she was going to pick Sigourney.
I think you're arguing that basically Sigourney gave them the rope to hang her.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's a more that's a better way.
Not me mansplaining what you said to you.
No, I think it's more eloquent. So yeah.
I've discussed everything I have about this moment. Anything else here?
No.
Yeah, there's not. Guys, be prepared if you don't watch the episode. There's not really much to this. The monsters must for the floor show. The monsters must conceptualize and showcase a look embodying a comic book supervillain with a signature power. I don't remember them. I'd have to go back and look, but I don't remember them being told they had to make an original character, but maybe they did. I remember thinking like, oh, are they going to do like, the Joker, but in an elevated way or something? But it comes up later. Back in the lab, JK reveals their look is inspired by the cockroaches in New York City. Cynthia reveals her nose contour is inspired by a girlfriend she dated when she was younger. Jaharia talks about her look being inspired by herself and also reflects on how she's been villainous all season long. Any thoughts here in the lab?
I will say that when I heard Jaharia's idea, I was like, this is not going to be go well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought a lot of people, like JK was saying that Cynthia's wasn't making any sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Jaharia's doesn't make sense. Like, she's herself. What's her, how is she a supervillain?
Yeah.
Is it just because she was, telling people what alliances were happening? Or
it was
I don't know.
very, very strange. I was like, that. Even before I saw the look, I was like, this is not boding well.
I was like,
for this look.
Yeah, conceptually, I just don't see how you're going to portray that in the, on stage. But yeah, no, it was, I was like, oh,
honestly, it sounded like somebody making things up, as they went. Like,
I think I could see that. I could see Jaharia just being like, I didn't think I would get this far.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't I don't really have anything. So I'm just going to say my supervillain is me.
Or what could have happened was that they used the look that they brought for something else in the season that we're not aware of.
Yeah.
And then they were like, I don't have anything left. Let me just rethink this. It reminds me in season 2 of Drag Race, they did like a country girl challenge, like dressing like a country girl challenge.
Yeah.
And they had Mystique Summers Madison, and she literally came out dressed in like what a dental hygienist receptionist would wear to work. And she kept trying to sell it as that was country girl realness. And that's sort of what it reminded me of. Okay, for the floor show. So there's not, unfortunately, and this is not because we don't want to do it, there's not going to be a dress to kill this week because in no way could I find any sort of look. Like usually by Thursday, the Boulay brothers have posted the looks for this episode. They did not this week. And then I went to the individual drag queens. Only 5 of them. They didn't post their look. I even just right now, when Lori was talking about Jaharia's concept, went just to be extra sure and looked. They still have not posted the looks. And then I even went earlier to Reddit to see, because sometimes they'll do like, oh, here are the looks from this week's episode. Nothing. So, I mean, the laziness is like, I'm not going to go through the episode and take pictures of the looks. You know what? And it had, again, to show you that it's not laziness, is if it was Drag Race, I would. It's not that hard. You pause the video, you take a picture with your phone, the end, right? But on Dragula, it is hard because they never settle on the whole look for long enough. It's like for a half a second. You know, you never really, it's hard and the lighting's all weird. I'm like, this would have been really difficult to do.
Yeah.
So I was like, not worth it.
Yeah.
So.
No, yeah. I mean, there's only like, I really only want to talk about Jaharia's look if we have a second.
Okay. Because I actually only really want to talk about Abhora. I am looking at the notes that Dennis wrote for me here, and it says like, here are the names of the characters, right? And I hope this is real, or he's made it up. Abhora is called Abhoro. Eva is Madam Destruction. JK, it just says inspired by cockroaches. Cynthia Doll says eyes that reference dismantling beauty standards. Cynthia Doll was another one that was random too.
Yeah.
And then Jaharia, it just says Jaharia. So. Well,
she's herself. That's her villain.
Yeah. So go ahead. You want to talk about Jaharia?
So last episode, right? She had this like almost like lingerie bodysuit that was perfect. It showed off her curves. It was amazing. This episode, I felt like she picked the one thing that can make her look the frumpiest out of everybody. I don't know why she picked that weird like stomach body plate thing that wrapped around her, but it did not help make her look, it made her look bigger than she actually is. Mm-hmm. And then her wig was terrible. So I was just like, honestly, I kind of feel like you hit it on the head. This was like, she just was pulling things out of her suitcase and was like, all right, I guess I'll wear this.
Yeah, I'll try to make it look like a superhero thing. Abhora. I gotta tell you, I thought it was incredible. From a magician's perspective, I thought she looked amazing. They were like, oh, but you could see your knee. You're nitpicky here with this. And also with, what's funny is like, oh, you didn't do an original character. Then they go proceed to name the character that she's doing. You're making it worse. You could have made an argument before that. Well, the only thing I probably would have done was I probably would have done the legs as like clouds or something like that added to the illusion more.
Well, that's what that one judge had said. Which
really?
I agreed. Yeah, he said to put like smoke or something on the, so it didn't match. I also felt like, for me, what took me out of it was the legs were just so like Stretch Armstrong. They were just so floppy.
Yeah.
I felt like if he had the legs be like a stiffer material.
Yes.
It would have looked better. But when he was doing stuff, his legs were just kind of flopping from side to side. And so that was kind of took me out of it.
But the concept of it was brilliant.
When he first did it, I was like, holy shit, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So no, his concept was great. I just think the execution could have been done a little tighter.
Yeah. But those are my only thoughts on the looks. Of course, Eva, as always, looks amazing, and whatever.
Her look was flawless. Yeah,
all right.
I was even pissed off when I saw it. I was like, "Son of a bitch, she's gonna win."
She always does. Good job.
But I forgot. We don't have to talk about it because it's really not much. But do we want to talk about Abhora being a cuckoo bird in the workroom when she's like putting tape all over her face and like putting stuff all over her face? And,
honestly, here's why I don't think it's. Well, you can talk about it if you have something to say about it. But
I don't really have anything to say. I just didn't know if we should address it.
Well, I'm just so what she's talking about is there's this really long. It's way longer than it should have been. Segment where Abhora just starts acting like a nut and being foolish, like putting tape around herself and acting like a crazy character and running around. Everyone's just staring at her. It really came off to me like the producers telling them, because realizing they're just legitimately just sitting there putting the final touches on their outfits. We need something, do something. And Abhora was like, all right, well, I'm going to just be wacky, Yeah. And just started being wacky. And then they needed content. And that it just felt very producer coaching driven. So I was like, this is stupid.
Now that you said that does feel very like,
Yeah. All right, for the final judgment, on the main stage, Eva Destruction is named the winner of the challenge, with the other 4 monsters facing the Ghostly Gallows, where only 2 will survive. In the cauldron, JK makes an impassioned speech about their performance this season and how much they've grown. Abhora reflects on being eliminated early during Titans 1. Jaharia talks about how well she's done all season. Cynthia reflects on not having a challenge. Okay. Any producer who's listening, in 2026, you're not allowed to use the word having or being. Thank you. Cynthia reflects on her lack of a challenge win and calls out Abhora for using stilts again. And the monsters push back on Cynthia and her tirade against Abhora. Back on the main stage, Cynthia Doll and JK ascend the staircase of souls, with Cynthia being dropped into the Pit of Oblivion. Next, Abhora and Jaharia ascend, with Jaharia dropped into the pit. Finally, the Boulet brothers reveal that the finale format will be based on the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse and allude to a potential 4th finalist. Oh, that's right, because the contestants don't know about the Hellbound Showdown.
Yeah. Well, and then also I have some questions later on about that. I don't know if you know any information about the Hellbound Showdown.
No.
But okay. All right.
Let me. I haven't been referring to my notes. Go ahead.
Yeah, I felt bad for JK because I know that he really wanted Jaharia to be there with him, and so it's when you get to that level, it is sort of bittersweet because you got clearly they like each other. They're not like bitchy or anything, and so you as a human being, you want you were like, I want somebody, to be happy to win, but then you're also in the competition yourself, and you're like, I want to win. So in order for that to happen, this person can't win. So it's a very complicated moment when you get to these like finales of these episodes or semifinals, because you're just like, I'm heartbroken that you're not going to be here, but I'm happy that I'm going to be here.
Yeah.
So.
There's a part where Cynthia talks about how she has to, because they're like, why are you lashing out at Abhora? Like, what's the big deal? And she's like, I have to because I'm in the bottom, bitch. Right? And I'm like, why? Why do you have to lash out because you're in the bottom?
But I think people brought it up as like, you don't have to shit on somebody's drag to make yourself feel you look better.
Yeah.
About your drag. I felt like that was like a good moment, but I wish they would have done it when anyone else had shit on somebody's drag.
Yes. True.
Just chose it for that one random moment.
Yeah, that's when they were, well, no, you can't do that. Yeah, because they were a lot of times when they shit on people's drag.
Yeah. Throughout the whole season.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, I mean, I could tell that, Cynthia Doll, she's not a stupid person. She knew she was going home.
Yeah.
She,
maybe she thought, what it could have been? It was a last desperate attempt to make her like seem relevant for television. So she's like, if I just lean into this and make good TV and start shit, maybe it will keep me around.
Yeah.
But he chose the wrong person.
But I think the problem with that is that to get into the finale, you don't really need to be good television. Like finales are for like the people have talent and you're actually showcasing something. Yeah. You don't need to be, because you're not working with these people anymore. You're going off and doing your own thing and then coming back together for the finale.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could see that if it was like the quarterfinals to get into the semifinals. Yeah. But this was, that's all. And also that's all she knew. So she's like, this is the last storyline episode. And there really wasn't a storyline, but this is the last, because next week is the finale, is the reunion. Oh, and then after that is the finale. Oh, and the finale, you're right, is just literally just, they'll do a little bit of like, kind of like when they do like the floor show day where they come in and talk about their looks, and they'll probably talk about their journey and stuff, but there's no real storyline, I don't think. No.
So then they just showcase their looks and then they crown a winner. All right. For the Hellbound Showdown, Blackberry and Sigourney Beaver face off in their supervillain looks, with Sigourney coming out victorious, sending Blackberry back to hell. Your thoughts on the Hellbound Showdown?
Look, I've said this before. I'm not 100% a Blackberry fan, but that was bullshit. Sigourney Beaver put a trash bag over herself and walked out and that was it. And Blackberry actually had like another head, was dressed up, and I felt like Blackberry did a fine. I thought Blackberry should have won. Sigourney Beaver's outfit was terrible, and I don't know why I know why they picked her, but it just was like clear. To me, it was clear that she, shit the bed. What they probably happened was they were like, okay, unless Sigourney shits the bed, we're gonna pick her, and then she shat the bed, and they're like, we're still picking her. Yeah. So
the one thing I will say is, with Blackberry, it did look cool, but I think we've seen it was like, if you're going for an original character, which I know, look, I just like the Barb and she was doing Superman. We've seen the Asian schoolgirl with the mace or whatever that is before. Yeah. So that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, but Sigourney's outfit, you didn't even know what she was. She was just a trash bag woman or something. Yeah. I don't know. But so my question is, how are they going to do the Hellbound Showdown?
I have no idea.
Okay, are Jaharia and Cynthia going to do it together and then they face off against Sigourney, or is Sigourney just going to do one after the other? Is she going to do Jaharia and then
Why can't it be all three at the same time?
Oh, I guess it can. I just never thought of that.
It's just a winner.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I think it would be hilarious if Cynthia or Jaharia wins. Like they literally did nothing and then they come back. They lose and then they come back right away.
Yeah, and I think there's another reason why Sigourney Beaver might be the person who goes into the finale. It's like, A, she's going to serve looks. B, like, it just seems right. It just seems like the right thing. She hasn't been gone that long. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Any other final thoughts on the episode?
No, I'm excited for the finale. I like that they're doing something different. They're not doing it like, filth, glamour.
Oh, yeah.
Goth
Which
and
people
gore.
are speculating that will be the Hellbound Showdown competition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see that, and I'm excited to see everybody. I think everybody, Abhora, JK, Eva, they all have creative minds, and so I'm interested to see how they all do those looks. And so I think it'll be fun. It'll be like not like fun, like drama or funny or anything like that, but it'll be fun to see their looks and what they do, what they put out.
Yeah, I think it is going to be good. All right, well, that's going to do it for this week's episode of Hello Uglies. Be sure to join us next week and every week as we continue to discuss, dissect, and deconstruct each brand new episode of Dragula Titan Season 2. So for Lorian K. Roggenkamp and myself,
So long, Uglies!
Thanks for creeping it real with us here on Hello Uglies. Got a bone to pick or praise to raise from the dead? Email us at hellouglies@afterthought.media. Want your voice to haunt our next episode? Leave us a scream at speakpipe.com/afterthoughtmedia. If you want to keep our crypt open and the blood flowing, support us on Patreon at patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia. This episode was brewed and stitched together by Dennis Escalero. A monstrously huge thank you to our expensive tier ghouls over on Patreon. You keep our coffins company. Hello Uglies is an Afterthought Media production. Until next time, stay spooky, stay sickening, and remember, beauty is only skin deep, but ugly is to the bone.